Welcome everyone to episode 14 of the Brewhouse Podcast, a podcast between two brothers where we talk about gaming, tech, entertainment, and everything in between. This week we're going to be talking about the quite lengthy article that Jason Schreier put out on, the title is How BioWare's Anthem Went Wrong. Now, for those of you that don't know, Jason Schreier is the best, in both of our opinions, the best gaming journalist. He doesn't post anything unless it's 100% factual. He does his research, so he works, he quote unquote works for Kotaku, which might give some of y'all a bad taste.
So 90% of Kotaku's payroll goes to him.
Yeah, but this dude's the real deal. Like, anytime there's anything major, let's put it this way, this is the guy that pretty much broke that Destiny, that Bungie and Activision were splitting. Like, this is where everybody heard it from.
He is the last gaming journalist.
Yeah.
The last gaming media person that I consider an actual journalist.
Yeah. Paul Tassi for Forbes, he's pretty good. He's more focused though. He focuses on like the Destiny and the Division, the kind of only, I don't want to say only looter shooters, but he's very specific and he has a very target audience. Jason Schreier covers everything gaming.
Yeah, he considers like the actual story behind everything, not necessarily like the game and how it's working, but actually the story behind it.
Yeah, so this article goes into, it doesn't really go into why the game, he doesn't go into what was wrong with the game at release. He goes into why it got to that point. So kind of the things leading up to the release, so on and so forth.
Yeah, he doesn't go into saying like, you know, the game's broken, this is wrong, you know, the flying's pretty, but everything like that. He goes into the actual developmental stages and what went wrong behind the scenes, not actually, you know, what's physically wrong with the game today.
Yeah, so it's like I said, it's a pretty lengthy article. It took me like 30 minutes to read it. It's like 11,000 words or something. So we're gonna go over like three or four of like the main things he covered. And starting off, I mean, this game was in development since early 2012. So it was in development for like six years about. It was only in production. So development is when they're like getting ideas together, kind of like the chalkboard, the drawing board, you know.
Yeah, it's the brainstorming period.
Yeah, it's like, you know, when you're doing an essay, it's your graph things that you're getting all your ideas together. Production is when they're actually trying to make the game and get out a finished product. It was only in production for 16 months. Or the period was 12 to 16 months, which it was only in production for that long, this game, because EA pretty much told BioWare this game is coming out in March of 2019.
Yep.
Whatever you have, we're doing. And that's not necessarily BioWare's fault, but it's not necessarily EA's fault either. It's kind of both of them, which we'll get into later. But yeah, so they did a trailer at E3 in 2017. Speaking of which
is not unreasonable. I mean,
but
the game came out 2 years later.
Yeah, but think about it. They weren't even producing the game at that point.
Oh,
so
no,
they literally made
ridiculous.
the trailer for E3, and that's it.
Did the trailer come out before or after? Well, when was Andromeda released? Andromeda was released. Okay,
2017.
So yeah, it was released in March. So the trailer for Anthem came out. So they wanted to hype their next big game. They wanted BioWare to announce, "Oh, we're doing this."
Which BioWare swung twice and missed heavily, because Andromeda, I'd say Andromeda was better received than Anthem was, but it still wasn't good.
No, not at all.
Not at all. So. Funny story is, he points out in the article, it wasn't even called Anthem until like a week before that E3 press conference in 2017. It was called Beyond, and for some kind of copyright something, they couldn't call it Beyond, so they called it Anthem, and it had to do with like the anthem of life or whatever that's surrounding the planet you're on or something like that. Yeah. Neither of us have played the game. We've kept up with it though. I've watched some people play it. I have friends that have played it, and it is not doing too hot. And I know Twitch metrics aren't something to go off of on how a player base is for a game, but it had 500 viewers on Twitch today. And it came out less than a month ago. It's not too good. It came out 2 or 3 weeks ago. That's not a good sign. Like even Division, which is kind of in a slow point, but they're just releasing new content, that still had a couple thousand viewers today.
Yeah, but Division was a fully finished game upon release.
Exactly. With a lot of content. So yeah, they had like shirts, and they had apparel made with Beyond on it for like the staff and everything, and they scrapped that like a week before and switched it to Anthem. So not only did they not even start producing the game when they showed the trailer for it, which to me just should not be allowed, honestly.
No.
There was a lot of butting heads, not only between the leadership in BioWare, but like the actual developers, because BioWare has 2 separate offices in Edmonton and Austin, and they were butting heads a lot.
Well, Edmonton wasn't really focusing on Anthem. That was mainly Austin, the Austin one.
Well, yeah, but then they like, so Edmonton has like some superiority complex thing where they think they're the BioWare. So they were like Austin was trying to tell them things, because they eventually took over for Anthem and became like the lead studio. And Austin was trying to tell them like, look, we made these mistakes in Andromeda. Like, people are telling us this is what they want. And apparently the Edmonton office just like didn't listen to some things.
Yeah.
And then like he said in the article,
it was Andromeda, but it was also even more so the fact that it was Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Yeah.
That they were saying that we've gotten feedback, we want to make these changes, we've done a multiplayer game on this scale. Let us make these changes, quality of life things. But the other team, Edmonton, didn't want to hear it. Yeah.
And then they would they would sit down and have like developer meetings, and they would bring up all these issues, and nothing would get done about it. Like, he says in the article, there was a period of like a year where nothing changed in the game. Like, they had meetings, they would talk about things, they would bring up issues, and nothing got solved whatsoever. Now, to me, I don't know that BioWare comes back from this.
They have
they
two more chances.
I would say they have one more, but yeah, 1 or 2 more chances. I mean, this is the company that made the Mass Effect series, some like the most highly praised games. Mass Effect 1 through 3 were great. Yeah, Knights of the Old Republic. Knights of the Old Republic 2 is both of like one of our favorite games, and the first one is good too. Like,
and they made the Dragon Age games. The first one being the best. The third one was a step ahead. I think the Dragon Age 4 is going to I think it'll probably do mediocre, if not good. If they keep the formula and get the story right, they'll be fine. And then I think they'll put out a KOTOR based game once the TV series about the Knights of the Republic that's going to come out. I think if either one of those doesn't do extremely well, I mean, EA is probably just going to cut ties with them. Yeah. So the article's saying by 2014, pretty much everything was canceled, and both offices their focus was Anthem. So the leadership in BioWare would pretty much it was kind of one of those things where they didn't know what to do, and they wouldn't listen to the people that did know what to do. So like the lower, I don't want to say lower developers, sound condescending, but the people actually making the game were like, yeah, we need to do this, do that. And they would either ignore it or just tell them no. And apparently there was like a big spell of depression and anxiety going on, which is apparently fairly common, because he posted another article saying how it's some people's dream, especially in the video game industry, to be a developer and make the game, when in all actuality it's probably not a dream job. It's the opposite, where it's like you're underpaid, you're severely overworked, and when your game comes out, if it's not perfect, people just shit all over it. So I feel for the developers, and like I said, it's not all their fault, and it's not all EA's fault, because I mean, it was in development for 6 years. You can't say, all right, we're going to develop a game, this is what we're going to do. 6 years later, it's nowhere close to being done, and you haven't done the things you said you're going to do. Right.
So that's why EA was like, we're releasing this game in March of 2019. Go finish it. So I don't know. I don't want to say we called it, but
yeah, we both didn't pre-order the game. We saw the things that it looked interesting. The graphics looked all right, the whole flying mech suit thing. But we were very skeptical on, oh, is it going to be good? This is one of those games where it's like, no, waiting to see.
Yeah.
It's very rare for us to, pre-order a game knowing, oh, this is going to be a great game.
Yeah, we said before on the podcast, like, we don't pre-order games anymore unless we know it's going to be like
Sony first party.
Kingdom Hearts 3, God of War, Days Gone, Spider-Man. We're going to pre-order those. But if it's stuff like this, like we're gonna wait and see. We're gonna give it. I'm surprised I even bought The Division. I don't know. I just had a feeling, and it paid off. The game's good. It's getting
you
updated.
saw what they were doing. You saw what they were doing towards the end of the Division 1's life cycle. They made a whole bunch of changes, and they fixed the game for the most part.
And they had people play it early to test out all the bugs. I mean, I'm not necessarily a fan. You could pay to play it early. I'm not gonna do it. If people want to pay to play it early, test all the bugs so they can start working on them, by all means.
Oh, you mean like beta or something like that, or?
Well, the 2 betas, but no, you could pay $100 to play it like 3 days early or something like that.
Oh yeah, but I mean that I don't care.
I'm not. Yeah, playing it a week early is kind of. You could pay like $120 or something to play it a week early. Even then, it's like test all the bugs, get them out of there.
Well, yeah, they're doing that as like a soft launch so they can get all the server issues out.
Yeah. Another thing I thought was very interesting. Apparently, the staff in the BioWare offices were not allowed to say the word Destiny. They were not allowed to compare the game to Destiny, which ultimately I think might have been its biggest flaw. Oh, yeah. Because Destiny has definitely had its bad points. And I'm not going to say all BioWare had to do was look at it and be like, all right, let's do what they didn't do.
But it would have been a good, and it would have been a good thing to do that.
Yeah, because like for all the crap it gets, Destiny's overall, it's been solid for the most part. But its bad points have been terrible. Yes. And any game that's in this genre, all they have to do is look at what Destiny did when they were doing stuff wrong, and do the opposite, and you're more than likely going to succeed. Look at Borderlands. Pretty much almost an endless grind. There's like so many different weapons in the game, plenty of different activities, an actual story, and people love it.
They took what worked the first time and they built on it.
Yeah, they don't.
It seemed like BioWare just did not even pay attention. They had their own mindset. Oh, this is what we're gonna do. This works. We're smarter than everybody else. We're not going to pay attention to see that, oh, this is failing somewhere else, but we're not doing it. BioWare's not doing it, so it's going to work for us.
Yeah, like you said, Borderlands built on what they did right, kind of like The Division is doing. All the good changes they made in the first game, they brought onto the second game. Destiny took a step back at D2 release with the whole changing the weapon system for no point. Instead of building on the weapon system that already wasn't perfect.
Even though they got feedback from big people in the community saying that a double primary system will not work.
Yeah. Although the biggest advocate for the double primary system is no longer at Bungie. That's something we can talk about later. Is all pretty much two of the biggest Crucible people at Bungie leaving. But that's for another time. So yeah, man, I don't know. I really wanted this game to be good. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you never want a game to be bad. If this game was good, we would have grinded it. I mean, we both grinded World of Warcraft for a while. We both grinded the first Destiny game.
I never got that feeling from this game. Like, honestly, to me it seemed like Destiny Light with like more customization. Like,
and
you got
more flashy. Like, your abilities were like I don't know.
From looking at the trailers, I was like, oh, this has less story than Destiny. I'm not interested in it at all.
Yeah, apparently the campaign was like terrible, and it launched with all kind of bugs. I mean,
from what I heard, like people don't even, they just smash X to be like, all right, let me get back on my mech and go back out.
Yeah. And like, this is kind of off topic, but there was a guy who mainly streams Destiny 2, got banned for doing like a exploit where you could pretty much get your ult back like instantly. And he was playing with two people that were also doing it. The two people did not get banned, but he did. And I mean, the obvious reason is they were EA game changers. So we're not going to say any names, but how can you ban one person for doing something and not ban the other two people that admitted to doing the same thing?
someone found a bug in the game and they banned them for it. I mean, come on, don't
bro,
get off your high horse.
Not even Bungie does that. Bungie encourages you, like, please go find the bugs in the game. We will not ban you. Go find them so we know what to do to fix them.
I mean, that's like okay, so the person that found a door in Skyrim kills the game. Oh, that person gets banned from playing Skyrim again. I mean, it's just stupid.
Yeah,
just because you didn't QA your game good enough, you ban somebody that finds a bug in it.
And Bungie actually, like, they're like, all right, if you find some of this stuff, we'll bring you in to playtest, like, for like the next DLC or whatever. So for all the things that Bungie does bad, their community, like, kind of the way they like talk with their community, not necessarily listen, but they talk well. They, you know, it's pretty hard to get banned on Destiny. Like, they don't even ban DDoSers, so they're a little too lenient sometimes. But if you're banning somebody for playing your game and having fun, and being like, I don't know, that just turned me off, and I was like, all right, well, any chance I had of buying the game just went out the window. And,
I mean, EA nowadays, it's hard for me to buy a game day one from them.
Yeah, pretty much. So their response, pretty much EA and BioWare's response to this, they sent an email out to all their staff, pretty much saying, "Don't talk to press, don't talk to the media." And it's just a terrible look.
Horrible.
Yeah. And like, BioWare released a statement saying, "We stand behind our leadership." Who do you think wrote that statement? The leadership. Yep. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure we both are. If you mess up, come out and say it. Say we're gonna try and fix it. We're gonna try and do right by the people that made this game.
Yeah. Have they even announced any fixes or patches to fix the game?
I don't think so. No. It had 500 viewers on Twitch today. When did it come out? March 22nd.
Yeah.
Let me look it up just to be sure.
March or no? It was February 22nd.
Oh yeah, February. Anthem. Yeah, it was February 22nd. I just want to be sure.
Yeah,
Anthem release date February 22nd.
Days Gone was supposed to release on that same day too, but it got pushed. Which
I don't mind.
No, I mean, I think Days Gone would have crushed it, honestly.
Oh yeah.
It's odd because I've heard little to no feedback about, you know, EA or BioWare coming in, you know, saying, "Oh, we're going to do this to fix it, do this to fix it." I was like, are you already cutting your losses and the game's not even 2 months old?
I think they are, honestly. I really think they are, which is sad because they did the same. No, Andromeda got a fairly big update to change.
Yeah, stuff. They fixed the bug issues with that.
I mean, this might have been, like I said, I didn't really hype this game up. I feel like it was pretty hyped up overall, though. Like, people were excited for it. This was a huge flop. Like, Destiny 2 launch almost flop. Like, it was very bad. Now, the game looks good.
Yes.
Like, Frostbite engine is beautiful. It's also terrible for anything that's not a first-person shooter.
There's bugs all over the place.
Which is another reason, because the people in BioWare couldn't figure out Frostbite engine, which is why it launched the way it did, because they had a limited amount of time. It's just a chain. It's a chain of effect, or it's like dominoes, the domino effect. So they were in development for way too long. So EA gave them a rushed date to finish it. When they got into production, they realized, oh crap, Frostbite is really hard to work with, and it was taking them too long to fix things, so they couldn't fix everything. It's just, it makes me sad to see that this is the point that some developers and publishers have gotten to, like this is the standard to make video games.
Yeah,
this is their standard, yeah. Because, I mean, EA is third biggest publisher, second biggest publisher.
Yeah.
So at some point they realized, and I think they started pulling staff to be like, all right, go work on FIFA, because that makes us money.
That is where they get their money from.
Yeah.
I mean, FIFA sells worldwide. So yeah.
So
I'm trying to get the sales numbers for it.
Oh, I mean, it's sold
It was number one in February.
It sold like 100 million copies or something.
That's what I'm trying to see.
I'm pretty sure within the first month it sold 100 million. I think I saw that number fairly recently. It's very, very disappointing. Like I said, you never want a game to release and it be bad. But on some games, you just kind of get the feeling that it's not going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
I felt that way about Anthem, and I kind of felt that way about Division. But it changed. My mind got changed, and I took a chance, and it paid off. So,
wait, Division 1 or 2?
2.
I knew Division 2 was going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
From what they did in the first one, I mean, it just people were playing that up to go back to get the shields or whatever for Division 2. I knew that they hooked the crowd that they had.
Mm-hmm.
That there's still a good bit of people playing it before Division 2 came out. So I knew that the original people would come back, and maybe even more so some people. So I knew that would be it wasn't going to be bad. It was going to be, decent to good. I didn't think it would be great. Well, I still don't think it did too great, but I think it's going to pick up more whenever, Tier 5 and then the raid comes out.
Yeah, Tier 5 comes out tomorrow. I'm really excited for that. Raid is April 25th. Yeah, guys, if y'all are listening, whatever podcast service y'all are listening on, be sure to follow, leave a thumbs up or a like, and let us know what you guys think of Anthem. If you think they're going to be able to save it,
if you played it or whatever,
let us know. Let us know. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to leave a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. We haven't streamed an episode in a while. We'll probably stream next week. We might. Yeah. We'll probably stream next week's, and then Game of Thrones starts 2 Sundays from now. So we'll be doing a weekly.
10 days.
Yeah, we'll be doing a weekly Game of Thrones episode as well as a normal one. So, yep, guys, thanks for watching. We appreciate y'all. And Jonathan, you have anything else to say?
Yeah, keep gaming.
Keep gaming, and we'll see y'all later. Peace.